What is up, my frosty brethren? My name is Arctic, and today I'm bringing you guys a build breakdown for Twinblast. Now, Twinblast is actually one of my go-to heroes in Paragon. I played him quite a bit before anybody else got to play the game. As you guys know, I also work for Epic Games, you know, he's a guy that's pretty near and dear to me. So more recently, we changed around how crit was rebalanced in the game with the 0.26 update. So I've been experimenting a little bit with some builds, and this one I've been using for about 15, maybe 16 or so games. And this particular build now relies pretty heavily on attack speed, but also incorporates quite a bit of damage, a little life steal, a little crit, and that's if I manage to get to the late game, even mid to late game phase. When in a match. So there is one very specific use case for the build. If I happen to see a Muriel on the opposing team, I'm constantly activating my Reverberate card in team fights. So for the uninformed, Reverberate does 50% more damage to shielded opponents for 5 seconds. So I'll talk a little bit about that here in a second. Here's what leveling my abilities looks like. Guys can see, went from level 1 to 15, a little bit different for these videos. I wanted to kind of go through that. Very heavy on the slow grenades early on, so I can help with the laning a bit more, because that does that AoE damage and it does a slow. My card build order is Flashfire Pistons are my first and second card, followed by potentially Reverberate if there's a Muriel or Rustbreaker. And then my next card is Brand of the Iron Eater, followed up lastly by Merciless. Now, the relatively low upfront cost of this build helps secure last hits and can make you a bit more, bit of a bully in lane against an opponent. Those Flashfire Pistons, I immediately, you know, put on a health pot, go into lane, and typically, you know, we're doing the jungle camps. And then by the time we're done with the camps, I'm usually sitting at about 6 points. I go back, add 2 kinetics and a strike, and then I maxed out that first card. And then at that point, I'm attacking my lane. And that's at about, I want to say about 4 minutes or so, 5 minutes or so into the game, I'm starting to lane. So if I happen to be dual laning with a support hero, you know, with someone like a Decker, Muriel, or Steel, it can be a great opportunity for boosting their card experience or card points as well, and potentially securing some early lane kills. You know, the Decker with the stuns, you know, you can rocket dash in, hit him with the E, Q him, and then, you know, murk him down with your basic attacks. In the event that you happen to get your ultimate barrage early, you can do kind of the same thing with, you know, a support there providing you some extra coverage. So if we're in a matchup and I'm playing against a Muriel, this is that specific use case, I'll take Reverberate as my third card choice. Sometimes I'll shift it down to 5 or even 6 in some cases. You know, if that particular occurrence happens, you know, if there's a Muriel, it's around the 21 card point mark is where I'm selecting that. So it's important to grab it early in order to ensure that you mitigate some of the shielding that a Muriel can provide to her teammates when they're in some pretty dire situations. It'll help you secure kills in those very early, kind of setting the pace, setting the tone of the game team fights. So you can pop that card against her or against people that she's shielding and kind of, again, mitigate that shielding. You know, it's important overall that you do not overextend when you are running this build, or any build in particular. This one specifically, because you're trying to get an early game advantage by using Flashfire Piston. If you're overextending because you're not using wards or your teammates aren't warding, then you can be caught out of position, and it's going to hurt. It's going to make you suffer trying to get to that mid-game point when you start to get that spike in damage. So be really mindful of how you're playing, and hope you guys enjoyed this build. It's really fun to use. Again, just got to pace yourself well, and you guys can have some success with it for sure. So let me know what you guys think. I'm definitely going to be playing some more with this build in the future. And until the next time, folks, I will catch you all later. Stay frosty.
was hot. I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed this video. I enjoyed making this video. If you enjoyed this video, what do you think they should do?
They should like and subscribe. Is that too much?
I was, you know, on a scale of like 1 to 10, that was probably like 8. You bring it down to a 5. What's your 5?
Bring it down a bit. Like and subscribe.
That was like a 3.
I got it. Like and subscribe, guys.